What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Burning Hammer podcast. I'm Mark Izzo, he's Dillon O'Brien, and we are your hosts. And this episode, man, we're going to have a jam-packed one for you because we are giving you our WrestleMania predictions.
Boom.
Now,
Bang.
before we get
Boom,
into
bang,
that,
bop.
like we said last week, we are running the goddamn gauntlet on WrestleMania weekend. We're hitting every single
5
show.
shows in 4 days. It costed everything I fucking have. It was too expensive, so it'll be worth it though.
Oh yeah,
And it's
once in a lifetime opportunity.
Once in a lifetime. Jeez. And listen, man, like it ended up, we got better seats than we were even expecting to have for literally every single night. And that is due to our hard work and the work that we put in to make our money and then blow it on this. So, I can't wait, man. I can't wait for Mania. So, finally, we're bringing you our WrestleMania predictions to the WrestleMania that we will be in attendance of. We will see these matches in person, live at the Link.
Goddamn
Lincoln
right.
Financial Field, home of the Philadelphia Eagles.
So we were also thinking we are obviously going to be doing some stuff for WrestleMania weekend at WrestleMania.
Yeah, we will be there. Find us, guys. Find us.
Find us.
And we will be looking for you guys, any listeners, any viewers, any people who have never heard of us but want to participate in a little bit of trivia. Want to let us know your opinions. We're going to be giving out prizes. We're going to be giving out stickers. We're going to be introducing people. We're going to be having people on the TikTok, on the pod. We're going to be doing most likely a live pod from the parking lot of WrestleMania. We are going all out. The Burning Hammer is taking over WrestleMania weekend. If you see us, come up to us. Ask us anything you want. Say, we want to be on the pod. We want to be on the TikTok. Get us on right now. We're going to get you on because we are for the people. The Burning Hammer is the entertainment side of sports entertainment. And the entertainment is keeping the people entertained. That's what we do here at the Burning Hammer. So we're going to be giving out plenty of prizes. We're going to be giving out stickers, and we're just going to be talking to as many wrestling fans as possible and getting our name and our face out there and trying to build the community that we have had so much fun building thus far. So if you are going to be at WrestleMania, drop a comment, hit us up on any of our social medias, and, you know, we will absolutely meet up with you and get some stuff done for the pod. Like I said, we're going to be giving out a ton of prizes. We're going to be doing trivia, some stuff like that. So if you're interested, if you see us and you say, hey, you know what, I might want a little prize. If you're confident in your wrestling knowledge, we might do some stuff where you have to go head to head up against the Burning Hammer boys and see if you guys can battle with the best, the dudes who have spent their entire life making this their neurodivergent special interest, and we are literally too obsessed with it.
It's our whole identity. I literally think about wrestling all day, every day.
So, yeah, dude, we're so excited to be at WrestleMania and hopefully meet some listeners, some viewers. But if not, if we don't meet anybody who says, hey, I know you guys from the pod, we're going to say, it doesn't matter because we're still going to meet a ton of people and give away some prizes and stuff like that. So, really looking forward to it.
Yeah, and also, like, if, like you said, even if you happen to see us, this may be, like, the first clip that you see, or if you just see two tall, handsome, good-looking guys in the parking lot with some microphones, definitely come up to us, and we'll definitely like to chat. Even if you don't know who we are, we'll definitely try to make you a fan by the end of our conversation. Also, if you're like a up-and-coming wrestler, or if you're pursuing professional wrestling and you're there as a fan, feel free to come up to us. We can interview you, give you maybe a little shout out.
One of the main. Sorry to cut you off, but
You're good.
Me and Mark have talked about it. And it's one of the main things that we want to do moving forward with this channel is really start to highlight some indie wrestling, and specifically do whatever we can to put some more eyes on indie wrestlers that we're a big fan of. Indie wrestling is huge around us in this area. There's a lot of local guys that we've had the pleasure of seeing from when me and Mark used to hit indie shows all the time in high school. Jimmy Lloyd, for example. We were at Jimmy Lloyd's first match ever, and then what do you know? Jimmy Lloyd is Jimmy fucking Lloyd, the broski. He is Matt Cardona's little minion, and it's amazing, dude. So essentially what we're trying to get at is, dude, we love wrestling, so we want to do whatever we can for the sport of wrestling, for professional wrestling as a whole. So like Mark said, if you're an indie wrestler and you're just there as a fan, and you just want to get your name out there, come on. Like, literally, we'll talk about you. We want to hear your story. We want, like, anybody who is puts in the work to train and get in that ring to, you know, contribute to what we love so much. We thank you, and we have a lot of gratitude to you, because we would be nothing without the dudes who do it, who go out there, the dudes and the women who go out there and put on fantastic shows all the time and work their ass off.
Anybody who has the courage and the drive to not only love professional wrestling, but say, you know what, I'm going to pursue this. Even if you have the expectation that you're never really going to like make it to like that next level in WWE, but you just do it because you love it. Even if you just do it on the weekends, like we would love to like hear your story and talk to you and just hear about your passion. So definitely do not be shy. Come up to us. We are for the people. And basically we're just all wrestling fans. And so we all love the sport of wrestling. So we are no different than you. We are all the same. So let's get into some predictions, because this is going to be an monumental WrestleMania. You know, Triple H has said it many, many times. This WrestleMania is going to change the game forever. Now, I would like to make a note that we are recording this before Friday Night SmackDown. So if any matches get added, we think they may add a match or two. We don't know the final two participants for the tag team ladder match, although we kind of both have an idea of who it's going to be.
Okay, so I think we should go with this thought in our head, if that's okay with you.
It's okay.
I think we should go with the idea that New Catch Republic and the Street Profits are going to be in this ladder match. I feel very confident that those are the two teams that are going to be in it.
Who are the Street Profits facing? Are they facing Waller in theory?
I believe so.
See, I don't think the Street Profits are going to be in it.
Let's look at the match real quick.
Because I could see them. I think they're probably favored to win, but my thing is, I think they're just like, they're in the feud with Final Testament. You know what I mean? So I think Final Testament is going to cost them this, and then I could see them wrestling. But they beat them
last week.
Yeah, but they're going to be pissed that they beat them, and then they're going to cost them the match. And then I could see them wrestling Final Testament potentially at WrestleMania.
With Lashley?
But, yeah.
Okay.
But I also don't think it necessarily matters whoever wins these two matches. I don't think they're going to win the ladder match.
All right, well, I'm really convinced that New Catch Republic is going to be in it.
Me too.
They're going up against Legado del Fantasma, so I can't imagine they're going to lose to them. So, move on from that. We are also, I think we're going to act as if Damage Control versus Naomi, Bianca Belair, and Jade Cargill is on the card. So we are both very confident that Naomi, Bianca, and Jade versus Damage Control is going to get added to the card. And I would also say I'm pretty confident that some form of Dom versus Ray is going to be on the card. Whether that's a singles match or whether that's a tag team match with Dom and Santos versus Ray and Andrade. Do you agree?
Yeah, it definitely feels like that's probably the way they're going to go, especially after Dom cost Ray that match against Santos.
Yeah.
I guess
So-
it'll be 2 weeks ago by the time this is out.
So I think we could probably start it off with, these are loose predictions. I guess we won't count these toward the record,
Yeah.
but I think we should go. We'll start with the women's, the 6-women tag match. I can't imagine Jade, Naomi, and Bianca losing. So I'm going to say that match is happening, and I'm saying they're definitely going to go over.
I agree. And this is something that we've actually have talked about a while ago on the podcast, that this is probably the direction that they're going to go for this match. And you're obviously like, who's going to, like, if Naomi, Jade, and Bianca lose, like, who's going to eat the pin? Like, neither of them are really going to lose. So I think it's a good way to get all 3 women on the card. And I think it's a good way to introduce Jade, to throw her into a 6-woman tag match like this. So, yeah, I feel pretty confident that this match is going to happen and that those 3 women are going to win.
Yeah, for sure. And I think after that, we can just say some form of Ray versus Dom, whether the other people are involved or not. And I think Dom goes over this time and gets the win over his father. Whether it be with Santos by his side or not, I think Dom's going over, especially after not going over last time.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. Also, real quick, I just wanted to say, if you haven't watched Santos vs. Ray, Wade Barrett was really, really good when Dom came out in his Rey Mysterio mask. I laughed out loud. I screamed. So if you haven't watched that, that's definitely a clip that's worth going to check out and going to find that. And yeah, I mean, I agree. I definitely think that Dom is way better now than he was last year, and I think like you can only like obviously he's kind of just like the funny person, or he's like taken less seriously. But excuse me, I think it's time for him to get a win.
Yeah, for sure, totally. And I think this is going to be a situation where I think Dom might show out here. I think Dom might, like, in ring wise, might see this as an opportunity to really like pull some stuff off that we haven't seen from him before. So I'm serious. I think Dom might come through with like a big spot in this match.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's gonna have a good showing. I think he's gonna be like, all right, because he's gonna have to, right? You've got Santos, who's really good in the ring. You've got Andrade, who's a beast. Ray hasn't lost a step, so it's like Dom's gonna be in there with these 3 other wrestlers who are all very talented. I think he's gonna be like, all right, let me show them what I got.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we
So I think after that, I think we're probably good to move on to. I think we both kind of think Street Profits versus Final Testament is going to be added at this point. You've kind of convinced me.
Yeah, that's one I could see going either way. It's tough to like. I would be shocked if they're not on the card, just because of like how much WWE loves them. But they're also just like, I think it would be weird to have them on WrestleMania but not involved with Final Testament, because that's been a feud that's been going on for a couple of months, and I know they faced each other many times. But it kind of just feels like that feud would just be weird, because it doesn't feel like we got like the end of that feud, if that makes sense. So I think it would
Maybe
be kind
we
of
get
weird.
Dawkins turning on Tez, or
Nah.
Tez turns on Dawkins.
Nah, not yet.
Not yet.
Not
All right.
yet. So, do you have any predictions outside of like matches, of things that are going to happen in terms of like appearances, that sort of thing, cash in?
No cash in. We're not going to get the cash in. I'm
I
pretty
agree,
convinced.
But
I'm pretty
think
convinced
there's
we're getting
a decent chance it happens.
on the world title.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I don't think it's going to happen. But I think there's a better chance than people may think.
So if they lose the tag team championships, I think it's probably. I didn't really think about it, but there
would go
probably
up.
is a decent chance.
Because, and I'll say this too, to give reasoning why I think there's a decent chance. I don't necessarily think it's going to happen, just because I think I'm trying to stick by my assessment of it's gonna happen at Money in the Bank, like a final second thing. But if you've been if you've been watching Raw, they haven't really been highlighting that he's Senor Money in the Bank. Like, you kind of like forget that he has the briefcase. So I think that's kind of like part of it, to where they sort of want you to forget that he has it, and then he's going to cash in.
Dude, you might have convinced me. I think he might cash in.
I'm saying I think there's a decent chance. I'm not going to throw my money on that's going to happen, but I think there's a better chance.
I'm just saying, at the end of that match, Damian and Rhea looking at each other with the same, like, the white and black straps with the same title and, like, both holding up, that would be pretty sick.
Yeah.
So, we'll see. I'm kind of convinced that shit's gonna happen now, dude. You kind of convinced me. Dude, I think that might fucking happen.
It might. I mean,
I'm kind of with it.
Listen, I'll say this, too. I want to come to the aid of Damian Priest, because I see a lot of people shitting on him online.
All right, so
I think he's great. I think he's world championship material.
Bro, and all right. I know Damian Priest has been elevated since winning the briefcase. That's all I'm saying. Like, I understand it's kind of annoying, but it's not the Money in the Bank's fault, bro. It's the situation they work themselves in with the title situations. Yeah. Not the Money in the Bank briefcase. Like, and obviously they need to figure out a better way to stop getting themselves in this situation, because they obviously want to be able to have long-term champions. So you can't have a thing that expires. You can't have a thing where you need a new champion every calendar year to be credible, like, for this thing to even happen. So I understand that they maybe need to find a new way to do it, but, like, the goal of the Money in the Bank briefcase is to elevate the person holding it. Damian Priest has been elevated significantly since winning the briefcase. It's just, he has, like, he's way more of a credible threat now than he was when he won it. So that's kind of the goal of the briefcase. So at the end of the day, at the end of the day, is it really that bad of a briefcase? Like, is it really that bad? Like,
do you think he's world championship material?
Yeah, I do.
I agree. I don't understand.
I wasn't sold at first. I saw the potential at first. I was like, I could see him eventually getting there, but now I really do.
Yeah.
I think, especially over these last few months, specifically on the mic, I think he's really coming to his own. Like, he used to be borderline cringy on the mic at times. Like, and I'm not even saying that, and, like, I just don't know what other word to use. Like, do you know what I mean, though?
Yeah.
Like, and to me, he's gone completely away from that. Like, I believe everything he says now. You know what I mean? It doesn't sound like he sounds like he's speaking with conviction rather than saying a script. Before, I feel like a lot of times with him before, it felt like he was reading a script, and now it doesn't. Yeah. He's so shit. Maybe Damian. Maybe it happens.
I think that's mostly due to him turning heel. I think he's just like I think he's someone who should never go back to being a babyface.
Totally.
So are you officially predicting a cash-in?
I think I'm gonna officially predict a cash-in.
All right.
Officially predict a Damian Priest cash-in. Drew will win. Drew will beat Seth, and then Damian Priest cash-in. But
do you think he cashes in to make it a triple threat before the match is done?
No, I think he cashes in on Drew after Drew wins.
Okay.
I think they want to keep. I think they probably. I don't think they want to. But it would be kind of fun to, like, do that to Seth. So.
Do you think they could be like? I think it would also play a factor into Drew's character, where it's like he kind of constantly has been getting screwed by outside forces. Yeah. So I could
totally.
I could see them being like, all right, the match is about to start, and then Priest cashes in like as the match starts. So it's like it starts out as like a triple threat match. To get himself into the match. But
I kind of like that.
I'm gonna hold my prediction that he waits until Money in the Bank. I wouldn't be surprised. I think there's a really good chance that he cashes in.
I think either way, yeah. So yeah, because I can still stay with my So I'll say he does cash in, but I'm not like completely convinced.
Do you think Lil Uzi Vert's gonna be there?
Yes.
I think he clocks Dom.
Big time.
I'm trying to figure out when, potentially the ladder match. I feel like would kind of be sick.
The ladder match. Uzi Dom tries to jumping off a ladder onto Dom.
I feel like,
or JD. It's probably gonna be JD.
No, it's gonna be Dom, dude. He wants to fight Dom.
I know, but JD has just been like the guy to fuck up.
Yeah, that is true.
And he's awesome at it.
Yeah.
I don't care, man. Like, I love JD. Like, he is playing the role of just being, like, just taking the fall for everything. Like, he plays that role very well.
Yeah.
We should probably move on. We've been on this for like 15 minutes. All right, so let's get to this first match.
Yeah, so the first match we're going to start off with is AJ Styles versus LA Knight. Yeah. Man. Who do you think's walking away with this one?
I think LA Knight. Yeah. Is getting the win here. I think he needs it a lot more than AJ Styles. This is his first WrestleMania. He was robbed from being on the WrestleMania card last year. So he 100% absolutely, in my opinion, kind of needs to get a win here. I think he needs to win here. And I think he's going to, and I'm very confident that he's going to get the win here. I wouldn't be surprised. I know a lot of people think Jimmy versus Jay is going to kick off WrestleMania, which I 100% think is very possible and even likely. I think there's a good chance that happens. But if it's not that, I would be... If it's not that, I think there's a good chance the ladder match might do it, might kick it off. But I think this is a really good... I think this is a sleeper for a match to potentially kick off WrestleMania, because I think LA Knight would get a huge pop for the win. Like, I think the crowd would be going nuts for LA Knight. Like, we've been wanting this to be the biggest win of his career, and it's been well deserved. So I'm going with LA Knight to pick up the victory.
Yeah, I actually haven't thought about the match order, but after hearing you say it, I think they're gonna have the ladder match kick off one of the nights.
Yeah,
because
I think there's. If I'm being honest, I think the most likely scenario is that it's either the ladder match or Jimmy versus Jay kicking off night one. Because I think Jimmy versus Jay has to happen night one. Because I think it has to happen before the tag match. In my opinion.
And I think that the ladder
match... Or
match...
maybe the tag match can go right into Jimmy versus Jay the next night to kick it off if, like, Jay comes out and...
I think, like, the opposite... the same thing with the ladder match. I think the ladder match happens before Seth versus Drew.
No, I agree completely.
And I think it's also, like, I think it would add more to WrestleMania, the show, if you have them lose the titles early on in the night, because then they're going to be panicking throughout the entire night, if that makes sense. So I also agree. I think LA Knight's going to get the win here. He absolutely needs it, because he's obviously a massive star. He's been winning a lot recently, but how many like big stars has he really beaten? So I think getting a win versus AJ Styles, one of the best to ever do it, on the biggest stage of them all at WrestleMania. He absolutely needs this. This is going to be his moment. I'm fully on board for LA Knight. Yeah. And I saw people kind of like hating on this match. This could steal the show. I think you're going to walk away from this match.
This could steal the show.
Like,
and
this is a really good match.
Dude, the build has been... they've really
the
worked
home
the
invasion,
build.
dude. I love home invasions.
Love home invasions. They haven't done one in so long.
And they did it in like a good way too.
Dude, a really good way. He's honking the horn.
And they were just doing the interview with AJ because it's always like you got to figure out like a real way to have a camera crew.
I told you. What did he say? I told you I would come find you, huh? You said you didn't want to come to me. I'll come to you, huh?
Then I dude, they just instantly started fighting.
Yeah, dude, that shit was lit.
So it's gonna be awesome. Enjoy this feud. I think everyone's gonna walk away. Yeah. So, speaking of Jimmy versus Jay, let's get into Jimmy versus Jay because this one, I think this is one. It could steal the show. Also, I think this potentially could kick off night one, like you said.
Yeah.
And
I think it kicks off one of the nights.
I think it kicks off night one.
Yeah.
And dude, it's gonna be awesome.
I do think
I'm very excited.
Yeah. Let's not get too worried about the order. I don't know why I'm doing this. But yeah, no, dude, it's gonna be so good.
Hey, to come to your aid, though, it plays a factor into things that could happen later in the night.
No, it does. It does.
So it is important.
So that's why it's
order.
like, I'm just because I do think you're right in the way that I think Judgment Day losing the tag titles early on could play a factor into the rest of the weekend, which would be fun,
especially with the Money in the Bank cash in.
Yeah,
but
totally.
I think Jimmy gets the win.
I agree. I think so. The one thing is Jay would get like a huge ovation for that victory of that WrestleMania crowd because Jay is just so damn over right now. But I don't think this storyline between them two is done.
Right.
So, and I think Jimmy needs to win in order for it to go on. So we both have Jimmy, but I have a question for you. Do you think we get Rikishi in this match? Do you think he makes his appearance?
Ooh, man. It's tough because I know I said that I think he gets involved at the end of the feud. However, it's also WrestleMania.
Dude, that's me.
So, I'm going to pivot, and I think he does. He is, whether it's he's there in attendance, potentially he's on commentary, potentially he comes out in the match. Maybe Jimmy's going to do something. The ref gets knocked down. Jimmy's going to like bash Jay's head in.
That's what
his
I'm
dad
thinking.
Comes out or something.
So that's my guess is that it's going to be exactly that. It's going to be a situation where Jimmy's about to do something like really fucked up.
Yeah.
And then like Rikishi's going to like come through the crowd or something maybe.
Yeah.
Or like,
so yeah, I think he's going to be there in some way, shape, or form. But I fully agree with everything that you said. That's actually one of the things that I said needs to happen is that Jimmy needs to win because I think they need to keep this feud going. If Jay wins, the feud seemingly would be done, essentially.
Yeah, totally.
So let's move on to the tag team six-pack ladder match. Now, we don't officially know the last two entrants, but I don't think that's going to have a major decision in trying to figure out who's going to win.
I think we're both pretty confident that New Catch Republic is going to be one. We're like 99% sure. So it's really the last one that we're unsure of is what? Waller in Theory or Street Profits.
Yeah.
Probably Waller in Theory. You've kind of convinced me that way specifically because I think they want Waller in Theory on the card probably.
Yeah.
But dude, I haven't put a ton of thought into this, right?
This is a tough match to decide.
Yeah, because if I'm being real, listen, because you can make a real case for literally like almost every single team winning this match. Like, I can 100% see Judgment Day retaining and getting a big win. And like defeating 5 other teams, like that's a really big win to be like we are like the tag team currently. Like we're like there's the New Day and the Usos, like we're the next. Like we're the Judgment Day is going to be in that like category. But also you have Awesome Truth potentially getting a huge moment of Truth potentially pulling down those titles, which would be a 50-something-year-old Ron Killings getting a championship win at WrestleMania. Listen, I can hate all I want and say that I want new guys to get the shine, but god damn it, that would be an awesome moment. Like, you can't say you wouldn't love that to happen. And honestly, R-Truth, a guy who's put in so much work and has never gotten the proper title run, really, ever. So, besides with the 24/7 championship, obviously. Most decorated champion in WWE history, technically.
Yeah.
But you can also make the case for, I can totally see DIY winning. I could totally see DIY getting this big moment. Triple H guys, them establishing themselves as we're top guys. A lot of momentum. Tag team division. I think New Catch Republic is a sleeper pick to win this match. I could totally see them. They are the dark horse. I can vision them winning. Like, those are the five. I can totally see any of those 5 teams literally winning. But my prediction is officially going to be DIY. I'm taking DIY, and I'm going with my gut that Triple H kind of wants to just give himself one here. I think, does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, I think Triple H is
this
like,
one's for me.
Essentially. I think essentially is Triple H is like, this is one that I can do for me, and also the crowd will be happy with. Like, I think it's going to be a moral victory for Triple H to give DIY the victory here. So that's personally why I'm picking DIY. And I also think there's a potential really funny moment of R-Truth helping DIY win. So I think that literally might happen. Like, I think R-Truth might like set up, like, might have a chance to like win the match and then just like
character,
and then take somebody out that's going after Gargano and Ciampa, and then DIY. Something like that. I think would be really cool. But I'm going with DIY.
Yeah, this one's tough. I'm going back and forth between Awesome Truth and DIY. I mean, you talk about a guy who deserves a win. You talk about R-Truth, right?
Yeah.
And you talk about someone else who's potentially also deserves a win in The Miz, who's done so much for the company. He's always been one of the staples of WWE for a very long time.
You literally, yeah, bro. He's on every week. He's so consistent.
Probably, he's one of the most underrated in the history of WWE. However, I agree with you. I kind of go back and forth between Awesome Truth and DIY. As it stands right now, my official prediction is going to be DIY because I think they're going to set up a big tag match for SummerSlam because it's in Cleveland, which is where Johnny Gargano's from. And I think this is like Triple H being like, all right, like, you guys are never going to be world champions. You may not even win singles titles, but we're going to make you tag team champions, and you guys are going to tear up this tag team division.
I don't think it's him saying that.
You don't think it's him being like, listen, like, you're not going to win. You guys may never win singles gold, so we're going to throw the tag titles on you.
I don't think he's going to say it like that.
Well, he's not going to say that at all. I think that's kind of
I think they'll win singles gold.
You think
so? You don't
so?
think this? Yeah, maybe not world title. Maybe Gargano. I truly just think Gargano is too small. I just like, hate on me all you want. I am not saying he's too small. I'm saying I think he will be too small in WWE's eyes to ever make him the world title. Unless like it's a next like Rey Mysterio situation, which is totally possible. But I think Ciampa is like 100% world championship material. Like I think a heel Ciampa is so world championship material.
I mean, listen, I agree with you. I just don't think WWE is going to view it like that.
Yeah, no, I definitely wouldn't predict it, but I think they'll get some singles gold. I could definitely see either of them as an IC champion.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, well, it also kind of depends on, like, because I could just see them being a tag team for, like...
a really long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could also see that if that's something that they're cool with, like...
Because Gargano talked about how much he loves tag team wrestling on his interview with CVV, but we're both going to take DIY. I think it's going to be a big win for them. I think they've been getting a lot of momentum
man.
recently.
It's like, it's like long overdue, man. Like, and it's in a way, like, dude, we've been talking about DIY as potential tag team champions on the main roster for how many years now, dude? Literally, like since they were putting on classics with the Revival, NXT Black and Gold. Like they deserve it, man. So yeah, let's go Gargano with Ciampa.
Yeah, it's gonna be a blast.
A moment, it's like for the moment, Awesome Truth is like might be the best pick, like for the moment, but long term, it just makes a lot more sense to put it on DIY.
Yeah, that was my thing too, because it's like, all right, however crazy it may sound to think of Awesome Truth as tag champs, Cody and Jay were also tag team champs.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's too crazy to try to like think of you're gonna have a short term tag team to put people over, but we're both taking DIY there. Let's move on to the triple threat match for the U.S. title. You've got Kevin Owens, Randy Orton, and Logan Paul. This one's kind of tough for me to figure out.
This is pretty tough too, because I don't know about you, but it's like the more that time goes on, the more I can kind of see Logan Paul retaining the title here.
Yeah.
And
I agree.
I think he might.
I think he does.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go with Logan Paul.
I am too, and I know we've talked about it a few
Listen,
times that
I don't
he's going
hate
to lose it at WrestleMania.
But I don't hate it, man.
Things change.
He's been awesome.
And SummerSlam is in Cleveland again.
Mm-hmm.
That's where Logan Paul is from. So I think he's going to be a big factor in
Johnny
that show.
Gargano beats Logan Paul for the U.S. title at SummerSlam in Cleveland. Book it.
He could. Also, The Miz. Miz will be on SummerSlam.
The Miz.
Triple threat.
Triple threat.
So, I mean, this one...
Yeah, I'm gonna go with...
I'm gonna go with Logan Paul.
Yeah, I'm sticking with you on that one as well, Mark.
Although I could...
I could see any of them winning.
Yeah, I think...
I think Randy is a good bet, gets him the Grand Slam. Randy has never been a U.S. champ, I don't think.
He's been a U.S. champ.
Oh, no, he has.
He
has. Sorry.
I think...
But it wasn't... It was more recently.
Yeah. It was in the past couple of years, I think.
Yeah.
I think if it's not Logan, then I think Kevin Owens is going to win.
Yeah, I think you're right.
But we're both going to say
confident
Logan.
Honestly.
Yeah. Because I just can't see any other scenario playing out.
I think it's just going to be like a huge spot where like KO and Randy take each other out, and then Logan comes in and gets the victory.
Yeah, I think it's going to be like once Randy's attacks Kevin first, then it's going to be like, all right, we're not buddies anymore. Like, we're going to... so then once it's like every man for himself, I think Kevin Owens and Randy are going to be so locked in on themselves. But let's move on to the other mid-card title, that being the Intercontinental Championship match. The Ring General, your champion, Gunther is defending against Sami Zayn. This match has definitely... my interest for it has gone up significantly over the past couple of weeks.
Sorry about the mic issue right there.
You're good. However, I don't know how much I love Sammy losing to who was that? Bronson Reed?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't love that. But I get it. I'm taking Gunther.
Gotcha. So my gut tells me Gunther. But I'm going to follow my heart. And my heart is with Sami Zayn.
Nice.
Because I think Sami deserves... I just think he deserves it, honestly. That's really where I'm just going with. I just think he deserves it, and I just think they're just like... I think he is a credible threat to Gunther. That's really where I'm at. Like, I'm just like, I think maybe it's a little anticlimactic storyline-wise. Like, my interest... Like, and I say that because, like, the heart was with Gable. And I can totally see Gunther retaining and then Gable winning on Raw the next night. For some reason. Like, I can see, like, Gable running out and challenging Gunther and getting the win on Raw the night after Mania.
Man.
But I'm going to go with Sami here.
So, I'm going with Gunther because it doesn't feel like... I'm going with, like, my gut feeling, and it doesn't feel like this is the end for Gunther, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. And I've seen a lot of people, and I think they're right.
I'm changing it. I can't. Like I said, my heart is with Sami, but my gut is with like, I just don't see it happening.
And
I'm pretty convinced, and I feel pretty confident that, like, Gable might challenge him to Raw after Mania, dude.
Well, all right. Let me say this. Because I don't think he's challenging him at Raw. I think he's challenging him Bash at Berlin.
Ooh, okay.
Because I've seen people talking about it, and the more I see people talk about it, the more I'm starting to get on board with it. And they're comparing this story with Gable, Sami, and Gunther to Rocky Balboa, Philadelphia's own. And so there's a lot of similarities between the stories with Rocky versus Drago. And so I think they're going to kind of go with that. And it's going to be Gable dethrones Gunther in Berlin.
Very, very interesting.
In front of a hostile crowd. So, that's where I'm at.
It's like, it was crazy. An American athlete had the Soviets slowly turning on their own guy. They started chanting, Rocky, Rocky. Have you ever seen that? Like the Funny or Die thing where they made like the 30 for 30 about Rocky? About the Rocky versus Drago fight?
No.
They were like, it was crazy, man. Rocky ended the Cold War. But yeah, I think, I don't know. I'm still kind of convinced that it might happen Raw after Mania, but which won't be mad at because we'll be there.
That's right.
So yeah, I'm gonna go with. Sorry that it was our first disagreement and I changed it immediately, but I'm going with Gunther.
It's okay, man. You gotta follow your gut.
Yeah.
So let's move on to the main event of night one, and that's the tag match between the final boss and the tribal chief. The Rock and Roman Reigns are taking on Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins. Now, at first, I'll be the first to say it. I know I said a while ago that once Roman loses the title, that it was going to be when he is on his own. But there's been a few different variables have been added to this equation. And so I'm going back on my word because I think that The Rock and Roman are going to win.
Agreed.
Because The Rock and Roman win, bloodline rules, no disqualification for Cody versus Roman.
And it's just like, dude, what you're going to do something to make it less exciting on night two? Yeah. It feels pretty obvious that The Rock and Roman are getting the victory here. I think the bigger prediction is, how's the pin happen?
Part of me feels like The Rock is going to pin Cody.
I think so, too.
As much as it pisses me off.
Yeah, I know.
But I think that's like my official prediction for that.
Yeah. And then I think that's what plays into The Rock versus Roman, because he's going to be like, I pinned Cody. You couldn't even pin him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I didn't think about that. Yeah. And that could also even lead to like The Rock versus Cody if they want to do that somewhere down the line potentially also. But I also like this is just
sorry. No, you go.
I just think that again, I know we talked about what we just said with the IC title story being compared to Rocky. This one's getting compared to Avengers Infinity War. Or what was it? Endgame?
Which this is much better writing than the Avengers. So
yes.
Can we say that for a second? Let's not give this entire storyline a kick in the nuts by calling it the Avengers, by calling it like a dog shit script. Not to be that guy, but it's like I understand the similarities.
Be that guy.
Pulling together a team of heroes to take down an enemy. But this is much, much better and much cooler.
Agreed.
I think it's its own thing.
Yeah, and I just think it's going to be pure chaos.
Sorry. People coming in and out. Fuck them.
Dude, so do you think... All right, so then this is the other part of this. You've got The Rock.
Oh, my God.
You've got...
Sorry.
You've got The Rock, you've got Roman, you've got Solo, and you've got Chibi. And then you've got Cody, and you've got Seth. Do you think... And Jay. So, do you think anyone's going to come... Who's coming to the aid of Cody?
Yeah. This is really what I've been...
This is when...
mulling over in my head.
Let's get you tingling below the belt.
So, I've narrowed it down to 3 people. Drew McIntyre, deciding that he's had enough. Like, he's like he essentially comes around and is like he just hates the bloodline so much, and is like, you know what I mean. Like, I think it might be a thing. The bloodline maybe gets involved in Seth's match some sort of way.
Okay.
I could see that happening. Next, CM Punk, I think, is a good bet. I think even though he is hurt, I think he can do enough to come.
He's got a left arm.
Yeah, I think he can do enough to come help out, take a bump if he has to, maybe. But my gut goes
Say it.
with the guy that you're thinking.
Also, time to go to work.
What up, Stu? Your time is up, my time is now. You can't see me, my time. In case you forgot, I fell off. I'm still hot, knock your shell off. My money stacked fat, plus I can't turn the swell off. Franchise, do it big. Business, I win this, it's automatic. You hear them horns, you finished. A soldier. And I stay under you fighting, cause I'm storming on you chumps like I'm thunder and lightning. Ain't no way you breaking me, kid. Harder than nails. Plus, I keep him on lock like I'm part of the jail. I slaughter and stale competition. I got the whole block wishing they could go in my division, but they going fishing with no bait. Catch your boy whole weight. I got you so straight. I brush your mouth like Colgate. In any weather, you're never better. Your boy's so hot, you never catch me in the next man's sweater. If they hate, let them hate. I'll drop your whole clan. Lay your ass down for the 3-second tan. Your time is up, my time is now. You
good.
Can't see me, my time is now. It's the franchise what I'm shining now. John fucking Cena.
In case it wasn't clear, he's talking
It's
about
gonna be John. It's probably gonna be John Cena
100%
coming out. I think The Rock says, and then you just hear, and he says, "What up, Dwayne?" He says, "Oh, you remember me?" I don't like Dwayne Johnson. God, it's gonna be pretty awesome.
So
I think I went, dude. There was no reason for me to go.
So I'll tell you this. I've got a few people in mind who it could be.
Yeah.
I'll go through them. Number 1. It's DDP.
Ooh, I like that. Dustin, obviously, yeah.
He's good friends with Cody. So I think DDP, Diamond Dallas Page, could come to his aid. A crazy one, Dustin, the Natural, I think. A super crazy one that I think could happen, Cody Rhodes' best friend in the whole world, Maxwell Jacob Friedman. I just think that needs to be said.
Awesome.
I think that needs to be said. However, I think there's 2 people that it's going to be. I think you hit the one on the head, John Cena. The other person who it's going to be the Texas Rattlesnake, Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Oh my God, I don't know why I didn't think of that. Perfect. Yes.
Perfect.
Stone Cold,
And
bro.
John Cena. I mean, come on. The Rock standing
Talk about
there. Center
You
of
want
the
to talk
ring.
about Avengers? You want to talk about the Avengers? And you got Cody standing next to fucking John Cena and the Texas Rattlesnake?
Well,
damn.
Dude. And I'll say this. I know people are pointing to the fact that when The Rock was beating the piss out of Cody, they had the truck with Stone Cold and John Cena.
Yeah.
I don't know how much of that is like leading. It definitely made me think about it. But I feel pretty good that Stone Cold is going to come out, and I think it's going to be a situation where it's like everybody's knocked down, The Rock's standing dead center in the ring, and then you hear, psh, bow, 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 bow,
he goes,
bow, bow, bow. Then he comes out, and you just have that stare down, dead center of the ring, and the place is going to erupt. It's going to be awesome.
I think it's better. You know what I mean? You know what I think's better? Is, oh, well, yeah, you get the stare down. But it's like, you know how The Rock, you know how it's, and this is what's so awesome about their entrances, and that's what's made them such great foes, is that they're truly complete opposites, like The Rock and Stone Cold. And you have, like, The Rock, like, slowly walks out and looks around and does that, but then you have Stone Cold's entrance, where he literally just walks out and, like, fast as hell, just starts walking down the ring.
Yeah.
Like, bro, and I can imagine that. Like, you hear the guy, and Stone Cold just walks out. He's walking fast as hell. He's pointing at him. He's like, come on, son of a bitch. Like, you know what I mean?
It's going to be awesome.
Like,
oh, my God.
yeah,
I got
dude.
goosebumps thinking about it. All right, so we are going to wrap it up there. This is the part 1 of a 2 parts. There's just so much to talk about. If we had this as one podcast, it would probably be almost 3 hours.
Yeah, I just realized we're at an hour, and talking about Cody versus Roman night 2 alone is probably going to take a half hour at least. So,
dude, that could be an entire. We could talk about that.
Dude, literally,
all
it's
day.
going to be so long. Like, just between that match itself and the Seth and Drew match.
Yeah.
And we haven't gotten into either of the women's matches, so we got a lot to talk about still.
Yeah, so
definitely don't want to have to rush that.
Yeah, so that episode, this is out Monday. That episode is going to come out, we'll say, on Thursday. Be on the lookout for the second part of this. You want to make sure to follow us on social media, so that way you always know when we release any new episodes or have new content out there. You can follow us on X at The Burnt Hammer, and you can follow us on everything else at The Burning Hammer. Make sure to follow us because we will be posting a ton of stuff during WrestleMania while we're there. Before WrestleMania, while we're in the stadium, we'll be live streaming on TikTok and Instagram, all of that good stuff. Make sure.
If you want your picture taken with big gold, find us.
Yes.
We'll take your picture with
and
big gold.
we're dishing out prizes, too. For trivia, you may win something that you've seen in a video on our social media. Also, if you are listening to the Burning Hammer podcast, make sure to follow and subscribe to our show, and make sure to rate the show and leave us a review. That is the biggest way for us to find new audience, is rating the show and leaving us a review. And if you are watching on YouTube, smash that subscribe button. We're on the road to 2,000 subscribers, and make sure to like and comment, and that is, again, the best way to help us grow. With that being said, that's going to wrap up this episode of the Burning Hammer podcast. I'm Mark, he's Dylan, and we'll see ya on Thursday.
Let's go!